Hi, I just want to personally give a shout out and say we did it. We're done with 850. We're moving on to better things with life. That being said, I did take some notes just to kind of go over some questions that we're supposed to discuss in this video. So my name is Eleanor Shaw, and this evening I'm going to be discussing my DNP project, which was on adolescent screenings for depression using the PHQ-9 screening tool. And the practicum site that I'm working in offers this screening, however, only to patients that are there for sports physicals or anyone who comes in with complaints of depression. Outside of that, we're missing a large majority of patients yearly who should be screened for depression. In fact, the CDC recommends that patients are screened annually starting in 6th grade, so age 12. So I developed my project through multiple revisions, and during those revisions I really learned more about APA writing style. I also learned that revisions take a lot longer than anticipated, and I need to allow more time to course correct. So towards the end, I was almost giving myself that full week in the program, so submitting like my essay to the writing coach like 6 days before it was due, to wait for it to come back, and then to allow like 3 to 4 days to try to revamp it. During that proposal, I also learned how to create proper appendixes. That's something that I have not done in previous education until now. So throughout this experience, I think that kind of like my area where things went well, learning how to take the feedback and then reapply it to make these revisions to eventually get to the place of passing peer review. Something that didn't really go well is there's a DNP coordinator, practicum coordinator for the entire entity, so not just the little doctor's office that I'm working in, that has been causing a little bit of delay and issues. She often forgets who I am, isn't tracking what I'm doing, and then essentially says, well, you're not approved. This looks like a good project, however, you're not fully approved. So that has been concerning, and just like learning how to navigate, having conversations with people who aren't difficult, but I think her workload is just really high right now, and so I'm not a priority at this point. However, it feels like a priority to me, it's not to her. Things that I anticipated. I did anticipate the revisions. Again, I didn't anticipate that the revisions were going to take as long. However, this does align with a typical DNP program. I think that the best part of this class and doing this project was that it truly allowed me to fully understand the process to take a project, push it through proposal. Prior to this class, I had no reality. It taught me critical thinking, how to properly communicate with stakeholders, especially ones that could be a little bit difficult, like the one I discussed before. And in the future, I'm going to allow more time for edits now that I know, the process that it entails. And also now I know how to communicate better in case I do meet resistance in the future. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I am looking forward to seeing you guys next class.